Welcome! If you're just starting your journey into Chinese, you've probably figured out pretty quickly that it's this massive, fascinating world. So you might be asking, where do I even start? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you a super clear blueprint for your language journey. We'll break down exactly what you're learning, why this particular path is so powerful, and how it gives you a really unique advantage.
So let's kick things off with the big question you see here. The phrase learning Chinese can actually point to a few different skills, and really untangling them is the very first step. So let's pop the hood and see what's really going on.
All right, here's our roadmap. First, we'll explore the huge world of Chinese languages. Then we'll get into the 3 keys you need to unlock it. After that, we'll dive into the story of the 2 writing systems, map out the specific path you're on in this class, and finally, we'll see how this all adds up to a huge global advantage for you.
Okay, first things first, let's clear up the biggest misconception out there. When people say Chinese, they're usually thinking of one single language. But it's not. It's actually a whole family of related but distinct spoken languages. And a lot of them are as different from each other as, say, Spanish is from Italian.
For instance, the 2 you've probably heard of are Mandarin and Cantonese. And trust me, they sound completely different. Now, in this course, our focus is squarely on Mandarin. Why? Because it's the official standard language used in government, in media, and in education all across the Chinese-speaking world.
So if Chinese is this whole family of spoken languages, what is it that holds it all together? Well, the answer is understanding that the language is really made up of 3 separate parts. And knowing how to mix and match these is the key to avoiding a ton of confusion.
And this table here lays it out perfectly. You've got these 3 layers. First, the spoken language, like Mandarin or Cantonese. Then, the written script, which can be traditional or simplified. And finally, you have a phonetic system to help you learn how to pronounce everything. The cool part is they're independent. You could speak Mandarin but write in simplified, or speak Mandarin and write in traditional. And the system we use to learn pronunciation is Pinyin, which is great because it uses the alphabet you already know.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial point for us in this class, the written script. We are focusing on traditional characters, and believe me, there's a really powerful strategic reason for that choice.
So, traditional characters, or Fantizi, are the older, more complex forms. And what's amazing about them is that they often preserve the original meaning, the story, right inside the character itself. Just look at the character for love, I. In its traditional form, you can actually see the character for heart sitting right there in the middle. The simplified version, which was created later to boost literacy, well, it took the heart out.
Now this is the key strategic advantage. I want you to think of it like a one-way door. Once you put in the work to master the more complex traditional characters, learning to recognize their simplified versions is a pretty small jump. But trying to go the other way, from simple back to complex, is much, much harder. It's a huge head start.
So where are these scripts actually used in the world? Well, simplified is the official script in mainland China, Singapore, and Malaysia, but traditional characters are used in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau, and also in many overseas Chinese communities. So learning traditional really opens up a huge and vibrant part of the Chinese-speaking world.
Okay, let's zero in on this specific path we're taking right here in this class. The combination of systems you are learning is totally deliberate, and it's designed to be the best possible investment for your time and for your effort.
So here it is, the whole strategy laid out. We're combining traditional characters for that incredible cultural depth and that broad reading ability. We're using Mandarin pronunciation, which is the most widely spoken form for maximum practical use. And we're using the Pinyin system, which uses that familiar Latin alphabet as a bridge to mastering pronunciation and as the global standard for typing. It's a powerful combo.
But here's the thing, you're not just learning from a textbook. In this class, modern technology isn't just a little add-on, it's going to be your essential study partner. You're going to be actively using these digital tools to really accelerate your path to fluency.
And this is your digital toolkit. To master input, you'll learn to type with Pinyin and speak with voice to text. For practice, you'll have real conversations with AI tutors like Google Gemini. You'll bring your learning to life by creating visual aids in Canva. And to perfect your pronunciation, you'll use apps to get instant feedback on your tones. It's a very active, hands-on way to learn.
All right, for our last section, let's zoom out. Why does all this hard work actually matter? Because learning this specific combination of Mandarin and traditional Chinese doesn't just happen in a classroom, it unlocks some incredible opportunities on a global scale.
First off, your skill puts you on the global stage.
Chinese is one of only 6, that's right, 6 official languages of the United Nations. That means it is a language of international diplomacy and policy, where the world's biggest conversations are happening.
And economically, your skills are a direct key to engaging with some of the world's most powerful and dynamic economies. We're talking mainland China, Taiwan, Singapore. This is an absolutely invaluable asset in business, finance, and technology.
And, beyond all the politics and economics, you are gaining a passport to one of the world's richest and oldest continuous cultures. You'll be able to access everything from ancient philosophy and calligraphy in their original forms to vibrant modern films, music, and social media.
So, here's the big takeaway. You are not just learning Chinese. You are on a clear, strategic path. It's one that equips you with versatile tools for communication, for cultural understanding, and for professional success. So now that you have the blueprint, the only question left is, where will you go?